together. We can all just fall apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can die together. The conversation, the separation, the overlooked $1,000,000 violations. Desire to forget, to hit reset. Desire you'll never forget about the presets.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face-Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face-Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Here's your host for the Face-Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
And that's how I found out I was actually born in Kansas City. So I think that's just a great deal for me all along. So shout out Lord.
Too soon. Too soon.
Oh, no. You have to laugh so you don't cry. Welcome to Face Off Hockey Show. I am Scotty Waz. Joined as always, Mark with the C and Johnny P. Real quick before we get started rolling.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I'm surprised we don't get dinged by YouTube every week for using the anthem by Good Charlotte.
When do we do that?
In the intro.
Oh, that's true.
No one really cares about that.
I was going to say that then people don't. Then I realized people don't give a shit about Good Charlotte anymore. It's fine. After that one married Nicole Richie, it's fine. So, but as you see, Johnny P is with Johnny. Why are you here? I thought you had the refereings.
Yeah, I did. We had the rainstorm of biblical proportions that occurred all day today. I don't know if BWI is flooded or not, but apparently there may or may not have been a tornado around. I don't know.
The hell's going on down there?
Yeah. I don't. It may be my PCL, Mark.
Yeah, it sounds like a PCL sort of thing.
Yeah, we're not going to protest.
If you can feel it along the back of your, yeah. Yes.
It's right along the back of my knee. If anybody is listening to the show, I may have hurt myself pretty bad refereeing last week, and I have a little swollenness behind. It's pretty much in between my hamstring and my calf, right on the back side of the, right on the back side of my knee here.
Where's Elon when you need him? We had him on last week.
I know. I saw that. I went to WebMD. It says cancer. So
Interesting. Weird.
So
Are you sure it's not Ebola?
I don't. It might be actually. It could possibly be Ebola.
You hear that, ladies? Johnny's so swole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so your
goes down to my knee.
Your PCL is swollen, is bulbous, and my MCL is probably thicker than usual.
So what you're saying is that between the two of us, we have one good knee.
And I just took some pills, so God only knows what that's going to do to me for the next 4 hours.
Oh, is that was it part of the TBS string of commercials? Because that wasn't awkward at all. Watching the Orioles Tigers game at work and having the Viagra girl come up.
Yes.
Oh, and it's just you and your man. And we're like, whoa, what's going on here?
Fake Cersei Lannister. For those of you, I mean, neither one of you would get that joke, but she looks like the girl who plays Cersei Lannister. I will pull up a picture of her.
You do that, and I'll tell you that we had Gary Thorne on the international feed doing the Orioles game, so I'm like, it's like watching Mets, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The international feed.
Yeah, it's great. Just have the little score bug, and that's it. Nothing fancy, no TBS bullshit.
It's probably so much better. Like
Gary Thorne and a mic.
What does Canada care about baseball now that the Blue Jays are out of it? I don't get it.
The Blue Jays own the one of the state Rogers.
The international feed.
Yeah, the Rogers is owned by the Blue Jays, who
yes.
Wow.
That's Cersei Lannister. That she plays. She plays one of the characters on Game of Thrones. That is not the girl from the Viagra commercial, although it looks
But
and sounds
close.
like her. Yes. I'm sure they did that on purpose.
That's smart of them.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose so.
Sell more boner pills. It's the name of the game, right?
Well, hold on. That's probably the test. If you can't get it up to this, then I don't know what to tell you guys.
Then you need to buy this drug.
Exactly. Then you put
If
up a
this
picture.
commercial isn't turning you on.
This commercial isn't turning you on. Good, because it's a commercial and you shouldn't be turned on to a 30-second spot.
Well, so it was the commercial for Viagra, and then 2 commercials later was the Cialis commercial. And I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what they're telling you, baseball fans. Like, I don't see any of these types of commercials when I watch the U.S. men's national team play soccer.
But you know what commercials you see on NHL Network? Your ears are dirty.
That's true.
Ah! I just jammed my ear with a Q-tip!
That is true. That's true. And then you have to, and then you obviously have a dinghy, a boat that has cannonball-size holes in the bottom of it that you need to fill back up.
Yes, because all the hockey fans tried to sail to Canada, and they failed.
Yes, obviously.
I just was in a fight with some crazy-ass Spanish on the sea, but I got this flexi. I'm going to fucking fix my vote! God, I hate that guy. By the way, that brings up 2 things. First off, isn't that a conflict of interest if you have Cialis and Viagra on the same commercial block? Second,
it's a conflict,
no,
but it's not of interest.
No.
They are both interested in the same thing.
No, I understand that, but it's almost like having Farmers Insurance and Allstate teaming up and just saying, "Hey, what's happening? We're not."
They don't know who else you've sold advertisement to.
That's true.
It's not like the Viagra guy comes in and is like, no, you cannot have Cialis in the same block as us.
It'd be great if they did. That becomes a big story.
That would be smart.
Yeah, that's true. But apparently, all the blood's rushing from their heads, so I guess those decisions really aren't made.
That's true. By the time the Viagra guy just walks in, it has boner all over the place. So I mean, he's obviously not thinking about anybody else at that point. He's just wondering if it's been 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's not, he's just telling people how sick it is after the 4 hours. Like, dude, look at how awesome this is. The guy, come on, Clyde. We don't need this right
like
now.
that guy from Road Trip.
Yeah. Shit. So, what else is going on, Johnny? You missed last week. We missed you. I
did miss last
week. We had a
week.
resident Jew come in and help us out with the show.
I'm good. I'm glad that Elon made it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a guitar and a cowboy hat.
Saw that
last week.
Good work.
Yeah. I mean, this guitar is so much nicer than my old guitar.
Yeah,
because it's
was
real?
able to tune it.
Well, here's what you discover the first time that you get an actual guitar is that you aren't actually supposed to push really, really, really hard to make a sound. It's supposed to you're supposed to just be able to push it just a little bit, and it's supposed to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
The guitars that we had when we were growing up, you had to strain your entire hand,
Cinderbrock on it,
and it still didn't work.
Yeah. So I tuned my guitar, so that was good. I was able to play a little bit out of my Learning Guitar for Dummies book that I bought.
Look, just skip all that stuff. All you need to do is learn literally 5 chords. 5 chords, and you're good to go. You don't need to know
all I need are the 4 chords, right? I just have to make a 4-chord song.
Exactly. 4 chords is really more than you need because we all know that
you can play every
Green Day song, every Darius Rucker song is only 3 chords.
I figured that if I just
most Keith Urban songs are only 3 chords.
Nice. I am going straight to get Hootie and the Blowfish in tab so that I can learn how to play that.
The easiest one is by far Let Her Go. Let Her Go is the easiest Hootie song to play by far.
Fantastic.
Or Let Her Cry. Let Her Cry. Sorry.
I stopped. So I took the Route 2. Route 2 is a lot more country than you would think it is. So I stop on Route 2 and head to the Guitar Center and pick up my guitar that's 50% off.
Oh shit! Really?
What are you gonna do without the rest of it?
Oh yeah.
You. Ah.
Well, I got the good part. So so I picked up a guitar, and I come walking out of the store with the guitar, put it in the back of the car and whatnot, and driving down Route 2. I'm like, oh, look, there's Carol's Western Wear. Roll into Carol's Western Wear, pick up a cowboy hat,
Attaboy.
go back to my house. I roll up. I've got a cowboy hat and a new sunburst Fender
Beautiful. Oh, it's a
That I-
Fender. Beautiful.
that I can put up on the wall and play a little bit every once in a while. And I'm like, all I have to do is pull out my boots and I'm good to go. Let's head to a Darius Rucker concert.
It's good. I like it. I like it. I like the well, I like the spontaneity.
So what it really came down to was, right, I'm not going to teach myself how to play a guitar on something that, one, I can't physically use. Scotty couldn't even tune it. Two, I can't hear what I'm supposed to be playing because it sucks. And three, I didn't actually spend any money or invest anything in it, so it's like it gives me no reason to actually use it, right? But this I spent some money on. The cowboy hat's just an accessory, but
That's
hell,
true.
Obviously.
whenever you play the guitar, you have to wear the cowboy hat.
It just gives you style points.
Yeah, but I've invested money in it now, so I kind of want to learn how to play it.
So here's the next step. Well, I don't know. You had how to play guitar for
I'm
dummies.
still on step one.
But you know, there is a game that is like Guitar Hero. It's called Rocksmith. That you can does the guitar you just bought have an electric?
No, it's acoustic.
It's not an electric acoustic. It does not have
It's a straight acoustic.
an outlet for it.
No.
What's it called?
what I did was
Scotty,
I-
what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
I know what
An output, like an output.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An output
Yeah,
to an amp. It
Yeah,
does
it's not
have
it's
one
not
of those.
electric acoustic because he would have the little meters on the top of it. too.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
what
got
that's
this.
what I got.
I got this app on my phone. It's called Guitar Tuna.
Beautiful.
And
It's-
what it does is it plays, it helps me tune it, first of all. You can see right here, I'm on the tuning screen.
Mhm.
But it has these little games you can play, and with the microphone on my phone, I can play chords, and it tells me if I'm playing them correctly.
Oh, nice. Yes. You know
And
what
it
I'm
was
talking
free.
about.
Yeah,
That's
probably
the-
show.
That
Yeah,
little guy right
I don't
there.
have one of those.
Plug.
Yeah, the little external.
And then you got the
the
tuner
meter.
built in with
No,
the meters.
that is
Haven't-
way more expensive than what I paid for.
I haven't tuned this guy in a while.
Me, because my guitar's in Maryland, I just have GarageBand, and I'm just using GarageBand as guitars. and
Should I
things
grab
and
my
stuff.
guitar and cowboy hat too?
Sure, why not? Why wouldn't you? Why are you teasing us like this?
All right, fine. I'll be back.
Right. And while you do that, I'll start thinking of songs for your for the Hoagies and Train album.
Hoagies and Train, Hoagies and Train, Hoagies and Train.
I just like that all these songs are really fucking long in name.
Yeah?
There would have been a hockey game if I didn't have to go to Indiana. Screen door at the bottom of a boat. Got to control your rebounds. Things like that. Say please. Say please. Come on,
Mhm.
Mark. All right. How was Chicago? How was the
Chicago was fantastic. Brittany crushed the marathon.
Really interesting.
Yep.
You beat
Crushed
all the
it.
Ethiopians.
She won. She won the marathon.
Did she just have a sandwich and all the Ethiopians are like, what the hell is this? Just like in awe, and then that trapped her, and then she was the big winner.
That's right. It's like Mario Kart. Instead of throwing green shells and red shells and bananas, well, bananas would probably work, but sandwiches really are what the big distraction
$5
is.
footlongs.
No, but it was a good weekend actually. It was fantastic. We had some deep dish pizza, and I don't know if you've ever had the deep dish pizza in Chicago,
I've never been to Chicago. I've been to Chicago once on a flyby.
but the deep dish pizza in Chicago it has like the crust is literally like a pie crust. The outside of the pizza is about 2 inches taller than the actual bottom of the pizza, and it's hollow. And they fill it with toppings, and then they put another layer of dough. And then on the top they put sauce. So if you get like a sausage and pepperoni pizza with cheese, obviously, so they mix up the cheese, the sausage, the pepperoni on the lower level with a little bit of sauce, and then put another layer of bread, and then a lot more sauce on top, so it's like a pie.
So it's like a non-Atkins lasagna.
That's a yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, someone has told me that Chicago deep dish actually equates to the lasagna soup. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a
It sort of is like that, except with like a firm pie crust on the bottom. It would be as if if you ordered an apple pizza in Chicago style, it would be like ordering an apple pie, except with another layer of the crust in the middle.
Interesting. Was that your first time to Chicago, Mark?
No, third time.
Wow, look at you.
First time for the marathon, though.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, I hope so.
So this is what my guitar looks like.
It's nice. I like it. Classic too. Like you definitely look like you're Rebel Country in that. Like honestly, you put that. You just we get a clear picture, man. That's Hoagies and Train. That's the
Hoagies
album.
and Train.
Album cover.
This will
Hoagies and
actually, yeah. If we could get a good picture, I'd probably need a different shirt on, and this red thing probably shouldn't be part of the cover. But this background is definitely the first cover of my first album.
Well, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
What is the? Let me get the liner notes here. The first album is of course called. That's the character list.
That's from left to right on your radio dial.
That is absolutely right, sir.
So I got a nice cowboy hat and a guitar, and I can play things like this.
Yes.
Nice.
Doesn't it? It sounds so much better than the old one.
Yeah, it does. It actually sounds like it's a guitar.
It is funny how you don't really have to push these strings as hard as the old one.
Exactly. That's how you know it's good.
And you don't even have to actually play because remember you used to have to you jam on the strings when you were strumming. Like you don't even have to do it. Like you could barely touch the strings, and they're like, oh look, sound. Oh, now you're just showing off.
I miss playing guitar.
Now the next time
You can still do it.
I could, but I don't have the monies.
The next time that Scotty's
I don't feel
here,
like the monies.
you guys can play. You can have dueling guitars during the show. Scotty
Here's
can
my
play
thing.
my guitar.
Are you using your old guitar like Jeff Jarrett and just gonna smash him over the head with it?
Hell yeah, I am. The next bonfire that somebody's having at their house, I am breaking that son of a bitch in as many pieces as I can and throwing it in the fire.
Yep. I have a guitar we can do that with as well.
Sweet. We could smash them together.
Yeah, and take a video of it in slow motion.
Perfect.
And that could be
That
something.
could be the cover of the second album.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is. That's the cover of the split EP you two put out.
That's true. I still have to have my first album though to do that.
Brother, it's fine. No, well, that's what you do. Johnny gets established with his 2 albums. You're a young up-and-coming talent.
Yeah.
You do a split EP with him. Boom, you set it off.
Can we do brother brother? Can we call it brother brother?
Perfect.
Like sister sister.
Exactly. That
It's
works
a
out
Fender
perfect.
too. Look. Oh,
Yeah. Mine is also a Fender. How about that?
Whoa.
And my acoustic guitar is a Fender as well.
We're
so
sponsored.
we're the Fender crew.
We're
You just pull a
sponsored by
capo
Fender.
off of there?
What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say you just pulled a capo off of there. Look
I
at you
did.
go.
We're the Fender Benders.
I think I'm just gonna leave the hat on the rest of the show because I'm sure that Lyle's waiting for me to have a cowboy hat on.
Obviously.
All right. Well,
And, how
do you guys
how
want?
else was Chicago?
Oh, it was good. We spent 3 days there. It was a little hectic trying to get around for everything. So, watched the first 2 Orioles games there, which wasn't great, but it was fun nonetheless.
That's good.
So,
Playing
yep,
guitar.
that's about all I got.
Yeah, I really didn't have muffin. Nothing.
I ain't got muffin.
I ain't got muffin. Nah. Friday night was my usual Friday night fare, so that's a good time. Friday nights are, especially recently. Friday nights are a great time. So there's that. Yeah, nothing other than that. Doing the old minor league report because goddamn minor league stuff got hectic. So I got the farm report this week.
Yeah, what the hell
guys-
did they do? They were
minor
like,
league hockey blew up in a big way.
in July. They were like, "Oh no, we're not gonna merge. We're just
2 weeks
gonna."
before the season, get it done.
Do you think that it took them 2 months to put the schedule together before they could announce it, or did all of a sudden they were like, "Fuck, where are these teams gonna play?"
No,
Yeah,
I guarantee you it was just like they struck a deal and then they realized they didn't have a schedule.
They struck a deal and they're just like, all right, how many games can we add on, and how can we adjust all these things? And how the hell is Brampton still in the same division? They have to hop over an entire division to get there. All right, whatever. We'll figure this out next year.
Yeah,
when we get 2 more teams.
The executives are all popping champagne, celebrating that they got a deal done, and then like little Jimmy down in accounting was like, "Hey guys, we don't have a schedule. We're not going to make any money because people aren't going to come to the games." And then everybody
Jimmy.
freaked out again. Yeah, and everybody said, "Shut up, Jimmy, I'm drunk."
They woke up with a hangover, just like, oh God, we don't have a schedule. Oh God.
And that's actually the story of Jimmy Chunky Butter.
Exactly, and that's why he's my agent now. It's because he's forward-thinking. Which, by the way, he's working on some deals. Don't you guys worry. There could be some new sitcoms in the new year.
Nice.
On the
I'm
YouTube.
looking forward to that.
On the YouTube with hilarious results or hilarious misconceptions. Either way, I'll tell you boys about this after the show because this is a new thing I thought of during the week, probably during a drunken haze on Friday night. While eating a delicious steak from Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual.
Is that after Purple Haze?
A little bit, yeah. That's actually that's the after thing. Like that's 35 years later, and it's me covering Jimi Hendrix in the middle of a bar.
Haze.
It's right after. Hey, Mike, what are you doing with that steak knife in your hand? Stuff like that. It's gonna be a whole thing of Mr. Mike's Jimi Hendrix cover albums. It's gonna be really weird.
I think I've decided that this year for Halloween I kind of want to be Enrico Palazzo and memorize the entire national anthem that he sang, and just before any party that I walk into, sing the national anthem.
Here's the thing: you have to have someone there who's dressed up like the Queen, and then
or Reggie Jackson.
Or Reggie. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot easier.
What about couldn't I just have a guy that's dressed up like the fat guy that's like, Enrico Palazzo saved the Queen?
You could. That's actually probably.
But that would be your exit from the party.
That is true.
Like whenever you're about to leave the party, this guy shows up. Like you have to have him on contract.
And then as you're walking around, you just do emphatic things. You're timid at first, and then you open up and get lively, much like me at every party.
I walk upstairs and I've got like a catcher's mask and a like big umpire's like chest protector.
If you could just acquire the umpire's chest protector, I couldn't give a shit what you're dressed up as other than that. Like,
That
just
thing's
give me,
badass.
like, I don't even know where you can get those anymore.
There has to
Well,
be a
not-
place. I bet you Play It Again Sports has them.
That, or you go to Bart's, and I'm pretty sure Bart's has everything from the 1980s.
Bart's isn't
Actually-
a thing anymore.
Bart
Yeah,
has
it
it,
is.
and it's new. It's like it's not even like a used thing. They're still trying to sell them to baseball umpires.
Come on down here to Bart's here in Glen Burnie, right near where the old Glen Burnie Mall used to be. We got these new Thurman Munson shin guards. Sure, he's been dead for 30 years. We're still going to sell him. We got this big umpire chest protector here. It's going to save your chest. You don't need your 2 arms when you're umpiring. It's going to be fine. Come in and we'll give you a Freddie Lynn rookie card just for coming in. We got guns akimbo. We have an old upstairs, just all guns there, hon. Come on down to Bart's there.
That's the best part about Bart's is you drive past it, and the sign for Bart's is as big as the sign that says "We have guns."
Mm-hmm. That's the best. That's the greatest thing about that guy, and it's right near a Checkers too. So you can go in, get some fries, and away you go.
Yeah.
What was the store in Montgomery Mall where we got our stuff signed by Johnny Unitas?
It was some sports store.
It wasn't our junk. It was our stuff. We didn't get our junk signed by Johnny.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, but I got my peanut ball.
That's
Hey-o.
true. You did get your peanut ball signed by
I
Johnny.
got my peanut ball signed by Jimmy Unitas or Johnny Unitas.
Jimmy United.
Actually, I got it.
His
I got
less
it
favorite
signed by
half brother.
Jimmy too.
He's just
Jimmy.
there. He's his brother's agent.
Jimmy. I have Jimmy on the mind now that you brought
Yeah,
up.
well,
Jimmy
who
talking about it.
doesn't? Let's be honest, man. He turned from fantasy hockey reporter to my agent, which shows you where my career is going. That I got a fantasy hockey guy to do my agency. But yeah, no, it seems like a what? Wait, what mall, Mark?
Marley Station.
Oh, you said Montgomery Mall. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
did I? What was the sports store in Marley Station Mall?
Oh God,
Herman's. That's what it was. Herman's.
was it Herman's?
It was Herman's. You're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good call.
That was
good
when we
call,
played
man.
that. You remember that downstairs football game where you would throw it through like the little holes?
Yes.
We played that for almost 4 hours that day.
Yep.
Nice.
Waiting
remember-
for Jimmy Unitas.
I remember. I remember when Peter Bondra and Michael Pavanka were signing down there. That may have been Herman's. I'm not sure. Another store.
You shut up.
Yeah, no, it was back in the day. That would be a terrible radio show, also. But also at Marley Mall is when I got Chris Hoyles and that was they did it 1 month where an Oriole player would show up there. It was Chris Hoyles, Randy Milligan, Sam Horn. No, Sam Horn was at a Price Club.
Oh, Sam Horn.
Sam Horn is all about that value pick. You know?
He said, "I'm Sam Horn. Just because I bat DH does not mean you can't save on your grocery shopping. Come down to Price Club."
And I get some free samples while I aside.
I come down here on
great for
Saturday.
Sam Horn.
I come down here on Saturdays just for the Vienna sausage, and then we went from there.
He probably had Jim, Washer, and Dwyer too, and he was probably at the Sears, right?
He could have.
It's gotta be. Yeah. Layover, you know?
Yeah.
Or
He
layaway.
was.
Not
He was
layaway.
actually. He was probably two a little segments away, or two. Shit, what are they called? The little
Sections.
like sections. Yeah, he might have been 2 sections away from Larry Sheets.
Yeah.
That's true. He probably was. You're right.
Here's the problem. Dwyer was actually working at Sears too, so that was the weird part about the whole thing. That's why he did ads. He was actually employed there.
Yeah, and he was right behind Ned Betting in the order. Ned Betting. Ned Betting.
That's
Damn
a
it.
good pull. That's okay.
That's not a real person.
So the 4 people were it was Chris Hoyles, Randy Milligan, Leo Gomez,
Oh,
and Rene Gonzalez was there as well.
wow.
This was '91 when everything was going on.
I wonder what Rene Gonzalez rookie cards are going for now.
I wonder what anyone's rookie cards are going for. You know what? I got a whole stack of Todd Van Poppels and Jimmy 10 condition. Jimmy 10 condition Todd Van Poppel. So they're probably worth at least 75 cents
All of them. Come
for
on.
the whole stack.
We got
Because
the
the baseball market is shit.
1988 Topps Tiffany number 98 Rene Gonzalez rookie card.
Oh.
You can buy it right now. How much can you buy it right now for?
12 cents.
I'm gonna bring up this image real
I bet
quick.
you it's a 5-cent common. But I'm gonna say though, if you buy one Rene Gonzalez, I bet you they'll give you second and third.
That's
true.
It's a utility card. It's also a credit. I want a Rene Gonzalez credit card.
Here we go. Let me
use it for everything.
let me show you guys here.
That's a beauty of a card,
that's
by the way. The old
Yeah.
Topps.
Beauty of a card, the old Topps with the little diagonal name on the bottom there. You would never be able to fit Todd Van Poppel on that little thing. So what do you think? With this Gem Mint 10 condition rookie card, Rene Gonzalez, number 88. Look at that! Look at that mullet that is perfectly. I mean, you can't see it, but you know it's there.
He wore 88 before Eric Lindros did.
He did.
Yeah, I'm saying 15 cents.
15 cents, John. What's your bid?
I do fully appreciate, by the way, how the belt is orange, white, and black too.
Well,
on
no,
the
that's
pants.
not even the belt. That's the waistband. That's when they had the expandable waistbands.
No, that's what
Here's a belt.
That's the elastic belt, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there, and you can probably see the buttons too that they snap together. And
You
no
can.
need for a belt; it's just there.
If we zoom in here, I don't know if the zooming in
Whoa.
works for you. You
Yeah,
see, you can see the buttons there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Johnny, what's your guess on that?
I'm gonna say that is probably in the common bin.
What does that mean? How much? Can you you can buy it right now on eBay for how much?
Oh, you're buying it right now for eBay?
Buy it now on eBay. You can buy it now.
Is shipping free?
Look at
Well,
them putting shipping
I'm
in the
gonna
whole-
say it's 50 cents if you don't have to pay for shipping.
Oh, shipping is $2.50. That's
What?
That's not good.
That's not smart.
No,
That's
it's
at
not
least
smart at all.
3 times the cost of that's at least 5 times the cost of the actual card.
Yeah.
You can buy it now for 99 cents, guys.
Oh,
99
That is way
Yeah.
overpriced.
way overpriced.
Super overpriced.
There's no way.
Yeah.
As much as I love me some Rene Gonzalez, dude. Although I just found a card that looks fantastic. I'm going Scotty screen share on this one since we're trading baseball cards here.
Hashtag Scotty screen share.
Yeah, exactly. A nice Greg Jeffries
Ooh.
old school
Ooh.
Mets jersey with the big hat, spring training posed. It's great. It's good times had by all. He looks so happy to be there before the weight of the world crushed down on him when he realized he's on the Mets for years. So there's that. That's another classic card with a signature here, and you got the twirly name. Topps always had badass cards.
That old Greg Jeffries.
Good old Greg Jeffries.
Wasn't it wasn't Topps Platinum the like the beginning of the downfall for baseball cards?
I think it was the 1991 Topps set that was the real downfall because they produced like 800 million of those cards.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were all worth nothing.
Exactly. It's inflation at its worst.
Is that a score card?
This is a Score Steve Finley rookie card.
Oh.
Beautiful.
That is
I didn't know.
that is clearly a fly out to the third baseman for Steve Finley.
I didn't know what it was. I just had to catch the ball.
Do you
Oh my
think if
God.
you saw Steve Finley right now on the street, that you
I
would
would not know
recognize
who
who it was?
No.
Even if he was wearing his own jersey and had a sign that said, "Hi, I'm Steve Finley."
It would still take me like 3 seconds to be like, Steve Finley?
Like,
What are you doing here?
Like, even if Steve Finley walked into a suite that we were at in Oriole Park
Yeah.
wearing his own jersey, we would kind of be like, wow, you're one of like 3 people that still owns a Steve Finley jersey.
Right, exactly. Like, he'd look at me and be like, Greg, is that you? You haven't aged a day. Because I have a Greg Olson jersey.
Perfect.
That's why. And so there's some bit of an inside joke there, but you know.
Hmm.
Mark
I
actually
like it.
has Greg Olson's jersey.
It is a real Greg Olson jersey. It is
I
not
know.
just
I've seen it. It looks
a
fantastic.
Greg Olson jersey. It is the
Greg
Greg Olson jersey.
It's the
Not
only
the
one
catch
that
leader.
still remains.
It still has some curveballs left in it, you know.
Nice.
Guarantee it.
By the way, there's a book out that I have to buy by one of the Sportsnet TV anchor guys. It's called Hockey Card Stories, and apparently the cover feels like a hockey card pack. And
That's cool.
and it's got a thing of gum on the inside too. That's,
But
you
as
can't-
soon as you open it, it loses some of its worth.
It's
yeah,
true.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not gem. You have to make sure the corners aren't bent. It's really weird. I'm gonna read it and then get it issued. It's gonna be fun times. So I actually have to pick that up. And then I have to actually learn how to read again. You know, these things.
What if you got like a tiny like plastic box for it, and you put it in the like plastic case?
I think I would have to go find a way to get it graded and then put that thing underneath the plaque underneath that.
All we have to do is we could just print that out, right? Like we could
Yeah,
print it
exactly.
out, like behind the book, and then you put the book into the case on top of it, and it can
Has to
say
have
it's a
enough-
Gem Mint 10.
Has to have enough overhang where you put it on the top. It's good times.
I totally agree with this.
Cool. We'll make it happen. All right. Also making it happen. A lot of injuries this week here on first weekend, and we got injuries akimbo. As you can cue up the music, Johnny. Should I just stall for time? And
Dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
slap at a base, man. Brian Allen on the lower body injury tip. He is out on the IR as of right now. Eric Stahl, upper body injury. The Hurricanes don't really seem to know what happened with that, how it happened, or when it happened. But he's day to day. But aren't we all?
Is it between his ears?
Probably. I don't know. They're not saying much.
That team has fallen apart, haven't they?
In a big way.
My God.
I mean, what's his
I
name?
mean, how bad was that Jordan Stahl trade now when you look back on it?
Well, yeah, especially when a guy breaks his knee like he did. It doesn't help much. And then they were talking about, there was rumors about, if the Carolina Hurricanes get in contention, Mark Stahl will want to come back over and play with his brothers. Not going to happen, but good luck.
No, be the one that holds out.
Exactly. A slew of Oilers, which, by the way, that team is a goddamn tire fire again, and it's only 3 games into the season.
Yes, this is awesome.
Victor Fath ruined his groin last night after giving up 5 goals and 13 shots. He's day-to-day. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins got into a fight, screwed up his shoulder. He is day-to-day. And Jordan Eberle has an undisclosed injury, probably embarrassment, and he is day-to-day.
I ruined my groin just yesterday.
Hey, now, look at you. Right behind you is where all the magic happened. What? Anyway. Gabrick, he's got an upper body injury, though. He is day-to-day. It would have been better if he had a groin injury.
Wait, who did? DiPietro?
No, Mary Gabrick. Close. DiPietro's doing radio in New York now, and apparently doing a great job of it, so good for him. Michael Grabner had hernia surgery, and he is out indefinitely for the Islanders, who, by the way, the Islanders lighting things on fire. Like, their last season in Nassau Coliseum, they're going out with a bang.
They should light that place on fire when they leave.
Yeah.
But if they do, it'll explode from all the noxious fumes in there.
The feces.
The feces. All the poop. All the poop.
Just say what you mean, Scott.
Exactly. It's all the shit in there, and it's just going to explode. It's like, I don't know what it's like. I had nothing. I just blanked out there because I'm looking at Dan Boyle and his broken hand. 4 to 6 weeks for Danny Boyle.
Danny boy.
Yeah. Evander Kane, he's got a knee injury. He's on the IR. No truth to the rumor. It's because he was kneeing some money up in the air, like a soccer ball.
That's how he warms up for the games.
Exactly. We'll get to this first because I think it's interesting. The 2016 NHL announcing all their 2016 stuff. Nashville is going to get the 2016 All-Star Game. And the Buffalo Sabres are getting the 2016 NHL Draft.
Yes.
So we got that going for us there, kids.
Let's go to Buffalo.
We
can
can
go to that place with the first place with the wings.
Yeah, Anchor Bar?
Yes.
Or Steve's Wings? Or Billy's Wings? Or Jimmy's Wings?
Jimmy's Wings. Is that a thing?
Tom's Wings? Good, because, yeah, exactly. He's my
Mom's
agent.
Wings.
He runs that place. Mom's Wings. Mom's Homemade Wings. So there's that. 26.
We
Man, the
should go to
NHL.
Buffalo and be like, hey, can I get some Old Bay wings?
They probably don't have. They're like, what's that? And then we
That's what I
say,
mean. And then we
we
laugh at them.
and then we say, hey, listen, Brett Hull's a great guy.
Oh.
We should bring Radio's Todd Butts with us and see if he gets mugged.
That would be awesome, actually.
Florida has the draft this year, and their attendance issue, man, oh man, as Johnny fixes his VR as he gets ready for the concert, the attendance issues in Florida are just looking shabby. 7,300 to the Ottawa Senators Florida Panthers game on Monday. Of course, a lot of things doing into this. The team stinks. They don't paper the crowd anymore, and it's also October, so none of the snowbirds are down. And they don't paper the crowd anymore. I think that's the big concern of all this. They don't paper the crowd anymore.
That Wyshynski put out. It's just an inferior product. Like, that happens to all teams. When you compare the amount of space that you have to fill a hockey arena compared to the amount of people that were at this game for the Florida Panthers, and compare it to some of the really bad Major League Baseball teams like 10 years ago, and the percentage to which they filled their stadiums, like, okay, 9,000 in an arena that fits, what, we're talking probably 20, 25,000 people?
Probably more 18.
18?
Yeah.
So it's halfway full? Like, that doesn't make... Wait, was 9,000 right?
7,300.
So still, it's like more than a third full? Like, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
It's not bad for two teams that really no one could give two shits about. Like that's not like it's a big rivalry.
9,000 fans for a Jaguars game, or 9,000 fans for like the Houston Astros when they were shitty. Like that's bad because you're not filling even a quarter of your stadium or arena.
Well, look at right down the road from them is the Miami Marlins, and they're playing like they have a new stadium they can't draw, and that's very much. By the way, BB&T Center for hockey. Wow, I was way off. 19,250. So 7,300 and 19,250. Still, yeah, like not too shabby. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I still hold fact that Miami is a bad pro sports town. Like
Even more fickle than DC is, and that's hard.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Hard to overcome.
And old people don't want to spend their money on a shitty product. And we've talked about this show. The reason is that it's a shitty product right now, and they've been through rebuilds. And Broward County is looking to audit them to see if they can get them out of the lease because it'll cost less. So, I mean, obviously things are not right down there, and the ownership. It's funny that the ownership it was brought up on a radio station that maybe the ownership wants us out there so they can get the hell out of town, and the owners can move them to wherever, whether it be Seattle or Quebec or something like that. So they want the numbers out there like that, and that's why they stopped.
So this is turning into like Major League.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You beat me to it.
Oh.
But they want to get out of Miami. They want to get out of Florida.
Is that maybe the people in Miami are just too old to use Twitter, so they don't know it's actually October?
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Their sundials aren't really calibrated right. Which, by the way, I have to say the best thing on Twitter right now that I see in terms of stadium is empty seats galore at empty seats, and it shows pictures of people showing empty seats in stadiums all around the world, like football game. Like they showed one of the Jacksonville Stadium that was half empty last weekend. Like, oh, that's great. I think it's empty seats. Let me check the Twitters. Empty. Is it empty seats? Come on. No, Nick. I don't want your shit. Empty seats galore. Jesus Christ. Whatever. Point is this. There's a lot of empty seats in there.
I don't think it's going to be a huge issue, to be honest. And by huge issue, I mean they've lasted this long. So if someone had a problem with the low attendance, it would have been addressed by now. Unless people just love losing money, which is also a thing.
Yeah, at empty seats pics on the Twitters. It's hilarious. Just because they show all these weird ass like empty, like they have one here of Raleigh. They have one from the men's game, the U.S. men's game yesterday, Columbus. Some fun times had by all. Yeah. So there we go. That is that. Minnesota names Richard Park their player development coach. So
good for him. He's one of the only, I believe. Is he Korean American or
South
Chinese?
Korean, I think.
South Korean American. One of the only Korean American hockey players. I remember looking this up a few years ago when we were talking about the Olympic Games potentially being in Seoul.
Mm-hmm. But now they're going to be in Pyeongchang for the next one. Jim Peck is actually the coach there now. So shout out Jim Peck. Here's something weird. Chris Pronger is hired now by the NHL for the Department of Player Safety.
Ha!
Yes.
Chris Pronger
Awesome.
Is still being paid.
Still getting paid by the Philadelphia Flyers.
Philadelphia Flyers. Fantastic. I didn't mean to blow your
No,
your,
it's
early.
I'm glad you. That's the
Hold
reaction
on.
I
How
wanted to
does
get.
that work?
Exactly, and no one knows how that's working, and that's been a point of contention for the last week when people bring this up because no one knows how this is legally working out.
I mean, I'm completely fine with him getting another job. That's not what I'm saying. But the job shouldn't also be in the NHL.
I get 2 paychecks this way.
Yeah, but what happens when Zach Ronaldo goes off being a dick and he has to come up to the player safety council? I mean, does he does he have to dismiss himself from this situation because he's still technically an employee of the Flyers?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know how that works out.
Did they get away with this by making him a consultant?
No, he was actually hired. This is not even a consultation thing. He's just in
See,
there.
when you were bringing up conflicts of interest,
There we go. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
this is a conflict of interest.
If you're scoring at home, this year Chris Pronger will take home $4 million from the Flyers. Next year and the year after, $575,000.
I think that's actually how they're getting around it. He's making $4 million from the Flyers and nothing from the NHL.
Maybe that's how they're doing it.
So
And
you're
of course-
telling me all I
Yes,
need
sir.
to do...
He's a volunteer. That's what it is.
You're telling me all I need to do is be a world-class NHL defenseman, get hurt,
For 1 year.
and then people will pay me $4 million a year for many years to
As
come.
long as you're over 35.
That's it? That's all I need to do?
Yes.
I still have 4 more years to do this then. I'm only 31.
You're fine. He's got a 35+ contract, so it's not like he can be cut.
So hold on. Yes, that brings up another contentious point. He is quite literally still an employee of the Flyers because they can't even get rid of his salary underneath the salary cap.
All right, here we go. Chris Pronger spoke to the media. Number one, I am not disciplining anyone. That's not my job. That's Stefan Quintel's job. I'm merely a sounding board for him to have another set of eyes who played 3 years ago under the new rules, under the new system. Obviously, I've had my run-ins with the NHL law enough times to understand the process to where things can go haywire. I am excused from any and all Flyer-related issues. So there's that.
So yeah, so I don't have a problem with this. Except for the fact that when somebody gets suspended the week before they're getting ready to play the Flyers.
By the way, apparently Pronger lets this out there. He says, just for the record, Brendan Shanahan had a conflict with each and every team he played on. Any player who is in the player safe department on the player side and is going to have a conflict somewhere. I understand there's money involved, but there's going to have a conflict or somehow have a relation to the player GM, blah, 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 blah.
Don't believe that at all.
Well, let's be honest. We are seeing this already with Steve Yzerman and his dealings with the Red Wings. Didn't he make 2 pretty major trades with the Red Wings as the Lightning GM over the last couple of years?
Yeah, but that's completely different than working for the NHL.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think that's different.
I think
There's
it's
a conflict of interest there. You have some level of...
That's using a relationship.
That's the same thing as Dave Nonis in the Canucks trading with Brian Burke and the Flyers. I mean, it's familiarity and stuff like that. So it's a familiar situation. So I can understand why.
I mean, I agree with you, Mark, to the point of if there were other people giving him better options.
Right.
And he just traded with the Red Wings because I want to trade with the Red Wings. Then yes, I completely agree with that.
I think he traded for Mike Commodore. So that's not really. I mean, you can't get a better option than Mike Commodore in terms of gingers with afros. Shout out Sean Leahy.
Gingers with afros might be the name of his first book.
Be great.
By the way, who is Kate Biernes?
She is a anchor for TSN Sports Center. Kate Burness.
She's very attractive. This Kate Burness. She posted a Yager selfie on TSN.
Yes, she is.
Did you see this?
Yes, I saw it, and how. Marky screen share that.
Although Yager has much bigger quads.
Yeah.
And thighs. I will screen share. Screen share. Oh, how good was that new Homestar?
Oh, the fisheye lens. Oh, so good. So scrumptious. Oh,
all right. So there we go. If you guys can see that, I don't know. I'm gonna try and. It's not a zoom in per se.
Hmm.
Click it up. Right click it. Right click. Right click. Right, a little bit better. But Kate Burness is a hottie, and she's also under 32, so that's kind of interesting.
There you go. Good times.
Let me see if I can find a better picture too.
Is she going as Yager for Halloween?
Be great if she was. Be very interesting if she was too. Oh my God. There's nothing here. What is going on with my life? Why are pictures of other anchors showing up? What the hell is this? What kind of crazy bullshit is this?
There have been so many people looking for pictures of her on Google that they just started sending you to other, like, like Sean used to add hashtag the tags below the pictures for everything. They just started adding the other anchors underneath as tags.
Exactly. He's like, that's fine. Put the other tags on it. Whatever. Let's see if I care. Let's see here. Does that picture do her justice? She's a cute girl. She's fun. She's a fun person to be around. She seems like it. I've never had any interactions with her because I have to stay 300 feet away from TSN anchors at all times, but that's Miss Burness there at the anchor desk of the Sports Century. So there we go.
There you go.
Good times had by all had by some. And then away we go. There we are, and we're back. Speaking of TV in Canada, Rogers, Sportsnet, and all its entities said that Hockey Night in Canada drew an average of 2.23 million on their early games. That's 5 games on 5 different channels, which is insane. Like, I'm trying to flip back and forth from the Caps game to the Toronto game to the Montreal game to the Ottawa game. I was like, oh, this is craziness. Why am I on FX Canada? What is happening here? Where's the It's Always Sunny marathon that we promised? And there we go.
It was a Flyers game instead.
Exactly. It was really weird. Actually, no, FX is where the Caps and the Bruins were. I'm just like, that would have been better if the Flyers were on there.
If they're gonna put a hockey game on FX, you really need to, like, can't you do whatever you want to on cable in Canada?
After
like,
9 o'clock.
Okay, well, all right, and then do it for a West Coast game. Like, put on, like, Dennis Leary or get some other famous, Canadian funny guy that cusses a lot. I mean, not Dennis Leary because he's from Boston, but put him on one of these games. If you're gonna put a game on FX, milk it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any cursing Canadian comedians. I'd like to do that show.
The CCC.
Canadians in cars getting coffee. Full cursing. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, I like the idea, Mark. We should make it happen.
Well, this is what we've been saying for years with HBO. And
for years!
Well, HBO's out of the NHL game
Epics.
now, so
Epics.
Epics might do it, but that still won't get me to buy an Epic subscription. But HBO just announced they're going to get a standalone subscription. Oh God, a standalone subscription. Something on my computer just started making noise and distracted me. A standalone subscription. I don't know.
Just for the online version of HBO on the go?
Like HBO Go, except you don't have to have a cable subscription to access it. You can pay a monthly fee separate from your cable to get HBO, essentially. Which is what I've been saying for years is the first pebble that rolls down the hill that starts an avalanche that crushes Comcast at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, screw you, Comcast.
Okay, perfect. Speaking of screw you, the Ottawa Senators are saying screw you to everyone else for stealing your ideas, as they are going to have racing prime ministers.
Damn.
Close. Racing prime ministers during their games.
On ice?
On ice. So
this is delightful. I'm a fan of this.
It seems fantastic. Let me bring up a picture here. We get to the Scotty screen share portion of the show once again. By the way, new Chris Jericho book out apparently. Shout out Chris Jericho and reading. Here we go. Racing prime ministers just hanging out with Spartacat there, trying to figure things out. Obviously, look at them
They
go.
almost look exactly like the Nationals guys.
Well, it's from the same company. That's why. So that helps. Of course, this is something that has been done before on ice. Yeah, But hey, racing prime ministers, I guess that's cool.
How many prime ministers are like instantly recognizable like U.S. presidents? Come on, let's be honest.
I know there's a couple of them. That's about it.
Well, yeah.
Which one is Paul Martin?
Defenseman for the Penguins.
Lead singer for Coldplay. Oh, that's Chris Martin.
Chris Martin, close.
It's Chris Martin's brother, Paul.
Paul Martin.
That's like Jimmy Unitas.
It is Jimmy Unitas. So Jimmy Unitas. Come on, you son of a bitch! You come up. You come up for me, you motherfucker. Yeah, this is done. This has been done before on ice, as you can see here. During a New York Islanders game, the Washington Nationals mascots, for some reason, showed up and just started skating around the ice. It was really weird. Teddy Roosevelt's there, just chilling.
I would actually like to see the Nationals mascots take on the Senators mascots in like a battle royale at some point in intermission.
Battle of 1812 redug.
Yes. Yeah. They can do it in Columbus. So then there's
Perfect.
going off.
You know what? Just sell tickets to that event. No, just not even the game. Just make it an event. Just make it 1-on-1 and then a 8-way dance after that.
It'll be on Epics.
It should be. And she's like, we're gonna revolutionize the way you watch hockey, and by doing that, we're gonna have mascots.
Great.
We're gonna have mascots fighting each other. How's that? How do you like them apples?
And that's a good Civil War drop too.
It is a great Civil War drop. Anything else? Oh, did you guys hear clothing was thrown on the ice once again?
Yes. I heard this is becoming a trend.
Two different pieces. First off, the Toronto, the Maple Leafs, they had a fan throw a jersey on the ice, which is stealing the Edmonton Oilers gimmick from last year. But not to the outdone, the Edmonton Oilers fans, one of them decided he wasn't angry enough, so instead of throwing a jersey, he threw a hoodie. The problem is this: when he threw his hoodie, it still had his cell phone in it. So the picture is just, it's fantastic.
I did like how the cell phone is just sitting on the ice.
It was great. It was one of the best things I've ever seen in the world.
So wait, his phone hit the ice and took a picture when it hit the ice?
No. There were actual people taking pictures.
Oh, of the cell phone. Well, that's
the
so meta. That's so meta.
It is meta, isn't it? Good times had by all. So yeah, they don't have a big picture whatsoever.
Not many people can see the big picture. Anyway.
I don't think they do have the big picture.
Kenya, Kenya. Let me see. There, come on, show me that picture. Show me that picture, baby. Show me your pictures. I don't know what that means. That's what I creep on. That's why I'm a creep overall, just in general. View image, right? That's what I want to view. All right, here we go. Another Scotty Screen Share original, and by original I mean I stole it from somebody. So as you can see, here's David Perron picking up this
just
sweater,
like the Ottawa Senators,
picking up the hoodie here, and then the cell phone is right here, by his feet. So some guy completely hammered forgot to take his cell phone out of his kangaroo
That is
pocket.
a badass hoodie too.
That is a nice looking hoodie. And dude, NHL hoodies are not that cheap, man. They're like $70 at a clip.
I like how we went to go pick it up with his stick first. Like, ew, what is on this?
Well, if you have something to pick it up, man, why bend down?
You don't want to reach down. Yeah, that's it. He might have hurt his back.
Exactly. David Perron has concussion problems, so if he tilts his head the wrong way, that'd be a weird injury, man.
It would have been really cool though if he picked up the hoodie and then noticed the phone and wrist shot the phone off the wall.
That's when you get into trouble.
First, take a selfie, and then take a slap shot with the phone.
No, first take a selfie, and then put the cell phone in your pocket, and then change the SIM card after the game, because it probably is a nice phone.
It's true. It looks like it might be.
It's like a Galaxy they got
The
there.
amazing part, too, is that case is... I kind of want to know what case that is, because that is badass.
It's probably a Survivor case. Like I have...
It took a throw from the lower deck, and then fell out of the pocket onto the ice. That is amazing.
Probably an OtterBox, or like I have for my iPod, like this is a Survivor case, and like it's water resistant and shit like that.
See, I had a Tiger.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Like even for just an iPod, because I'm really rough on iPods at work, and yeah, this protect the hell out of it. Really rough on them at work. Just like,
I don't
listen,
know what you're doing with them at work.
You play the music I want to hear, goddammit, or I'm gonna throw you halfway down the aisle.
It's one way to do it.
You're like pouring milk on top of it.
Exactly. It's just like it's not shorting out. It's not shorting out. Look at how great this is. Like, this is a waste of milk, Scott. I don't care. I'm not paying for it. Fucking, we'll just write it off.
It was
Never
spoiled.
done that. Yeah, exactly. It's spoiled. It's not cottage cheese. Just put it into a cottage cheese bowl. Repackaged cottage cheese. All right. When I get
Yeah.
I'll send
Damn
you
it!
a-
I'm gone for 1 week, and it's
Haven't-
like I've
that's
never been here before. By the way, I'm just gonna say this now. I didn't even
Mm.
start the encoder, so I'm gonna have to redo the show anyway.
No, you didn't.
No,
Before the.
I set up the encoder so that we could use it, but in no way, shape, or form started it.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
1 week, and it's like
Before
I've never
before
been
the
on
show,
this
he's just
show
like, I gotta
before
set up
in
the
my life.
encoder, guys. Oh,
I
what?
feel so bad about my PCL. That's why.
Mm. You know what? I'm kind of sad about the Pacific Coast League too, but I don't let it affect me.
I tell you, it's no PSL though.
No,
Mm.
people would be paying 10 grand large for that for my PSL.
10 large for your PSL.
It's not DSL either. That's just slow.
Well, it depends on the. Anyway, point is this. Not gonna
That's
get
a
into
different kind of DSL, Scotty.
that. I know. Believe you me. I don't know why I started singing that.
What else you got?
That's all I got. I got
Yeah?
nothing else. And I'm talking about all-star games and drafts and all kinds of crazy shit.
So can we talk for a second on if Burakovsky is going to be the second line center for the rest of the season? 'Cause he seems like he's played well so far.
And one of my buddies on Facebook said like he's playing well, and he's like, yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he can keep up this clip though. Like he's playing well. He's getting there. Barry Trotz is giving him minutes, but I don't know, man. For some reason, I still think he's going to be sent back to juniors before 40 games. Maybe he's probably gonna get the first year of his entry level contract kicked in. Because I think he's going to stay for more than 9 games. And then I don't know if they want to risk a year of eligibility for free agency towards him though. That's the one thing I worry about.
So that's what the 40-game threshold is?
40 games is a year of service in the NHL, yes. So that means he become an unrestricted free agent faster.
I see.
So yeah, I mean it's an interesting proposition they have going for him. He's been playing well. He's getting power play minutes too. So I don't know. I mean, I would almost send him down after 9 when Tom Wilson's ready.
Yeah, Tom Wilson can't be a center for you. Look,
I understand.
the NHL is a business, Scotty. All right, if Burakovsky is winning games or getting or making the team better, it doesn't matter if it's a year earlier on his restricted free agency. There's ways to get around restricted free agency. If it's a good player, you can sign him to a longer contract like they did with Mike Green and Alex Ovechkin and Nick Backstrom. You can sign him to a longer contract. If he's the second line center, he's performing like a second line center, you have him for 3 years at a very cheap contract. Keep him up. Don't send him down just to send him down.
I send him down because I think at the beginning is a mirage. Brock Nelson and Victor Hedman are leading the league in scoring, so I don't believe anything in the early parts of the season. So as well as he's been playing,
Brock Nelson is the WWE champion, from what I understand.
Brock Nelson is a great name. Let's get Lyle's take
Wait,
on this
Lyle's laughing like he orchestrated this entire
Exactly.
thing.
whole thing. It's like a table that didn't break in Botchamania.
It's all coming together, hey. Brock Nelson, my creation. And soon there will be other NHL stars with more manly names,
The
like
best part-
Slab Beefsteak and
The best
Chad
part, too,
Riprock.
I feel like Brock Nelson should have Victor Hedman as his spokesman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Victor. Yeah.
Dirk Stateface. You know?
No, that's just getting silly.
Oh, okay, sorry. What, Brock Nelson isn't?
Brock Nelson is great, man. Brock Nelson's right up there with Boone Jenner. Boone Jenner for best names.
Brock Nelson with sports and Dennis O'Day with the weather.
Whammy!
Thank you.
All right, Lyle, we're having a discussion about Andrei Burakovsky, what the Caps are supposed to do with him. I'm still a little hesitant to make him stay up the entire year. Mark says let's make this happen, make him second line center.
Whoa.
Mark said right now,
statement.
crown him as top 6, is what Mark just said. We can rewind the tape back.
I'm pretty sure that got lost in translation, didn't it, Mark?
I'm pretty sure that what I was saying is, if he keeps performing at the level he's performing at, it is silly to send down a player that's going to help your team win just to save a year on a contract. There's ways.
Mark
there's
actually
ways
said.
around. Okay.
Mark said, and I quote, Nick Backstrom who? And that's really what he said when talking about Andre Burakovsky. Why he would say that.
I believe what I said was there's ways around restricted free agency, which is signing a player to a longer-term deal, like they did with Alex Ovechkin, like they did with Nicholas Backstrom, like they did with Mike Green. So, like, there are ways around restricted free agency not to let them go. Like, they're not going to hit the open market sooner if you sign a player that wants to be on your team to a long-term deal when they're still relatively cheap.
And if they're also relatively valuable to your club.
Right.
There's always the danger of overpaying, but
Well, Mike Green.
Caps prospects as of late, I think Burakovsky is right up there with. But at the same time, there was a lot of hype behind Stanislav Galiev too, and he's still toiling in the minors.
How many points so far has Burakovsky? I've only seen him play the once, and that was the game against Montreal, and he looked pretty good in that game. I have to admit.
No, like he's a solid player, but let's see for Mr.
I think he has 2. I think he has a goal and an assist.
He has a goal and 3 assists.
That's quite impressive so far. How much? What is he? Seeing mainly third line duty, or are they
second line? Second line center. That's
how
the discussion came up, because the Caps have sorely needed a second line center.
Well, especially after they kicked Grabowski to the curb last summer. So which keeps Kuznetsov on the left wing where he belongs, and because I was nervous about him being the second line center. I felt he would be much more comfortable on the wing.
I think you and everybody else was pretty damn concerned about this whole thing.
Well, he's not a very big guy, and technically this is his rookie year, and a whole lot of responsibility goes into being a second line center. Like I said, unless your name is Sidney Crosby or Jonathan Toews coming in on your or Evgeny Malkin, who comes in and takes the league by storm in your rookie season, it's usually a dicey prospect to put a rookie in as your second line center. As your Edmonton Oilers are finding out the hard way with Leon Draisaitl. I only bring that up because you mentioned them earlier in the hour. See, I was listening.
Terrible team.
Terrible. But anyway, but back to Burakovsky. Give him a few more games. See how he does. I mean, if he's still contributing well once you hit 9 games. Remember, there's the 9-game thingy, okay, where you have to demote him for 10 games. But you also have a second opportunity where he plays 40, up to 40. Right. Yeah. So there is a second option. Though the easiest one, obviously, is he only plays 9 games, then you demote him and you carry forward his contract for another year. I believe with the 40-game thingy, that
is 1 year closer to free agency. Yes.
Yes. So, but you can you could still safely demote him. No waivers. Blah blah blah. Well, demote him in terms of he go back to his junior team is what I'm.
Right. Yeah. He can't play in the AHL.
Yeah.
Junior eligibility left.
Exactly. So if he's got a year junior eligibility, they can send him back then. But most teams don't usually tend to employ that second option, mainly because of contract reasons. Obviously, it's much easier to just demote them in 10 games. You carry forward their contract for another year. But again, if you wind up with a kid who's like a Nathan McKinnon, for example, another prime example, we're going to talk a recent example being last year's Rookie of the Year, why demote him? And I mean, already a goal and 3 assists in his first 4 games? That's pretty good. Yeah, 3 games. So that's pretty decent numbers. As long as his performance doesn't fall off a cliff over the next 5 games, why not keep him up? If he's addressing your need, then he's worthwhile keeping.
So in both cases, though, when a rookie in this case, plays the entire season or plays between 10 and 40 games, they still lose that year on
Yes.
their contract.
Yes.
So why would anybody, unless this guy is just absolutely no longer being productive for your team, why would anybody even use that second clause?
Injury.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if he gets injured and they can send him back, and then it doesn't go towards his going to unrestricted free agency earlier.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of recent history who got demoted.
Yeah, it's like I
think
said.
M.A. Fleury is the only one that really pops to mind when he was there for the first year and then got sent back to.
Yeah. It
Brett.
doesn't happen very often, as I said. Good call on that one, Scotty. I was drawing a total blank. I couldn't recall. I know it's happened a couple of times, but it's very, very rare. So, yeah. And again, as I said, I mean, I think in the case for most teams is if they decide the kid's worth keeping up, after the 10th game, by the 10th game, they feel that he's earned the shot, then they just put it out of their mind and just, okay, well, let's go with him for the rest of the season, deal with the contract consequences or Quincy consequences after the fact.
Quincy Jones consequences.
Yes.
As long as they don't treat him like Steven Stamkos got treated, I think that's perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, but Barry Trotz is no Barry Melrose.
Yeah,
Thank
but
God for that.
Burakovsky's already played more games than Stamkos did in the beginning of the season.
What?
Burakovsky's already seen more minutes. Like, wasn't Stamkos just like stapled to the bench for the first 6 games?
Of his rookie season?
Yeah.
He was a healthy scratch a
With
lot.
Melrose?
Yeah, he was definitely in Melrose's doghouse for some difficult to believe reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I might have to go back and check that.
Old school he was, and yeah. Anyway.
That's why it lasted 13 games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Yeah, good time. Lyle, can you also explain to us the hell with what the hell's with Chris Pronger? Like, how is that? How is he gaining 2 paychecks this way?
Well, it all has to do with the fact that he's on long-term injured reserve. And according to the NHL, who never met a rule that they couldn't bend to suit their own purposes. Yes, he couldn't make a rule that they couldn't circumvent to suit their own purposes. Because he's on long-term injured reserve, he's not working for the Flyers front office in any capacity. He's certainly not an active player anymore. He's retired in all but word. They just considered it just a notional thing. They're going to continue to employ him in the Department of Player Safety. Only with the stipulation that any disciplinary action that's required on behalf of the Philadelphia Flyers, he's not allowed to weigh in on it. So there you go. So that's how they get around it.
Bunch of do about nothing, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but I mean, by the same token, though, I mean, let's face it, it is conflict of interest. It's just notional conflict of interest, and the fact as well. I mean, it just simply highlights the fact of what is. This is salary cap fraud is what it is. You got a guy who is still being paid by the team. He can't retire because if they do, then they don't get any cap relief. So he, he still draws a salary from them, even though he will never ever play again. It's the same as Mark Savard with Boston. The same with Matthias Olin with Tampa Bay. These guys will never ever play again. But they can't retire because they're on the plus 35 thingy. And so therefore, well, no, not Mark Savard's case, though. Mark Savard was not over 35 when he signed his contract, but Pronger and Olin were. And, so that's the whole sticking point. If I believe in Mark Savard, in his case, yeah, he wasn't over 35 when he signed his contract. So he could retire if he wanted, but in this case, though, in his case, he still keeps drawing, because legally he's allowed to. He can still keep drawing the salary from the Boston Bruins, even though now he's a scout with the Ottawa 67s. But let's face it, 4.007 mil per season is a lot sweeter than anything you're ever going to earn as a scout with the Ottawa 67s. So in his case, it's purely for selfish reasons, And again, it works for the Bruins because they can put him on long-term injured reserve and get some cap relief. But in the other two cases, they're over 35. If Chris Pronger announced his retirement tomorrow, the Flyers do not get cap relief. His salary immediately counts against the cap, pushes them over the cap ceiling, and then they incur a whole crap pile of penalties and everything else. So, as like I said, it's cap fraud, but it's legitimized cap fraud. And evidently it was never a big deal with the NHL owners because they've allowed this to carry on into this CBA.
Everyone's happy. I mean,
Yeah.
dude's getting paid.
Well, the players
I
don't
feel like
mind,
Batman
obviously.
walked into somebody's office and was like, "Hey guys, watch this one."
Watch out and go fuck with these assholes now.
Exactly.
Yeah, this will get them
Like,
spinning.
and you guys thought that Lou Lamoriello is the only one who read the CBA.
Who do you think crafted the son of a bitch? Anyway, as he giggles and runs off maniacally, going, one team screwed over, two.
Hey, Bill, get a load of this. I'm hiring ex-player. I don't know how he turned Italian.
Whoa, he turned into Luigi from Super Mario. Yeah, the movie.
Hey, Bill, we're making a pizza pie. We're making a pizza pie. We had it from Italian Batman.
The Italian Batman.
Happy Batman.
I gotta tell you gotta, but this is again one of those things though in our recent admiration society that we've had for Batman of late, where it's like, look at the stuff he's been able to pull out of his ass and walk away from it smiling like this, hiring Chris Pronger. Yes, it's conflict of interest, but it's notional, and the NHLPA goes, okay, well, our guy's still getting paid. And as long
still getting paid, cool.
And as long as he's not weighing in on any disciplinary decisions that have to come down for the Flyers, we're good. So,
honestly, I just had this discussion with a Flyers fan that didn't realize that Pronger was still getting paid by the Flyers.
well, tell him he is, and we'll keep getting paid till his contract runs out because he's not retiring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Wouldn't it be great, though? Wouldn't it be great if they just put together a team, and it was like Savard, Oland, and Chris Pronger that helped out the supplementary department?
Yeah, we're not weighing in on what anything our respective former teams did. Blah blah blah.
But
but
ideas coming forward.
Yeah,
this could be fantastic.
Well, I mean, apart from the irony of one of the most suspended players in NHL history now being part of the NHL disciplinary committee,
Trevor Gillies is part of the.
That was part of the interview.
No. I said one of the most, and I meant Chris Pronger. Yeah, Trevor.
That was part of the interview for him, actually. Though.
Yeah.
What's one of your weaknesses? And he's like, "Well, I've seen the process many times."
Yeah. No.
Hired. Boom.
Yeah. No, what it is. So you can just imagine Chris Pronger sitting there, and some players is facing disciplinary procedures because of an illegal hit to the head. And Pronger goes, "You idiot! This is how you do it." Damn it! Now, okay, 3 games, and next time do it properly.
Now,
how do you expect to give a guy a concussion in the playoffs if you don't give him a forearm shiver to the head?
Now, Gabriel, do you remember what the guy who elbowed you in the head looked like? Well, actually, it was him. It was him, and he's right there across the table. He did it. I don't even play the league anymore.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. You
really hard coming in here.
You injured me by telepathy, Pronger. We all know what you've been up to in your downtime. Come on. Got a book, Learn Telepathy by Mail.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
how
right.
to haunt your nightmares.
Yeah, that's an image D. McCammon sees a lot. I'll bet that elbow coming to his noggin there from the 2007 playoffs. Oh, yeah.
And then before that, it was Steve Downey in an exhibition game. It's like, oh, come on, guys!
Like, come on,
Jesus.
But we may, but seriously, though, it's pretty sad when a talented guy like D. McCammon, gets his career shortened by, and yet Steve Downey's still playing in the league, and Chris Pronger now has himself a way cool job in the NHL Department of Player Safety.
2 paychecks.
Yeah. Somehow something doesn't seem right with that picture.
Is this the equivalent of the FBI hiring a really awesome computer hacker to figure out how people hack their computers?
Yes, it is. Chris Pronger. Chris Pronger is what one writer called a master of the dark arts. Yes. Honest to God, I read that and I almost spit my coffee out onto my laptop screen. What? Really?
So now it makes
when did he become Dracul? Come on.
Now they're promoting Harry Potter 8 to the NHL.
Through the NHL.
And Batman's making more money.
Yeah. Harry Potter 8, Voldemort lives. And he's Chris
So
Pronger.
what they'll save the NHL Guardians during the next All-Star game? How does that work?
Bring back the Guardians for Columbus.
Gotta be. Oh,
By the way, I didn't realize D. McCammon played as long as he did. Holy jeez.
Yeah, he played a while, but he was a pretty good player. I mean, decent second line.
Four games away from 1,000.
Yeah. How many career points?
448.
Yeah. He had a couple of decent seasons in there though.
He was
too.
a serviceable grinder guy. Yeah, 21 goals with the Flames in 01-02. 19. Oh, that's the River Rats. Never mind. 19 with the Edmonton Oilers. 97-98. He's a serviceable grind guy. So yeah, exactly. I always liked the way he played.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve that kind of crap. What happened to him, though? Then a lot of these guys don't, which then raises the interesting thing of the apocalypse. The apocalypse must be near because Mike Milbury wants fighting abolished now from the NHL.
Here's what he's doing, and this is perfect. This is genius, Mike Milbury.
It's a swerve. It's a swerve.
It's a reverse psychology gimmick. He knows everyone hates him. He knows everyone hates him, and he says, all right, well, if I agree with this, they're going to hate me for this, and then they're going to come back on my original side. Mwahaha. Take that, Keith Jones.
Really smart. If only he was this smart when he was drafting.
Well, he tried to be in his own mind.
No, he drafted really well. He just traded all of them.
No, that's an excellent point, Johnny. That's an excellent point. He drafted very well. He was called Mad Mike because he was stupid crazy when it came to trades.
Touche. You're right.
Yeah.
He didn't realize the value of a prospect. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, don't get me started. Oh. I'll be here for half an hour. Never mind. Moving on from that. From his, back from Mad Mike's era as a GM to what he's saying now. Honest to God, though, I mean, if Mike Milbury, who, let's face it, I mean, for years he railed against the pansification of the NHL. During his playing days, I mean, he was more than happy to chuck knuckles, and he did with some hefty guys back in his day. And he could beat up a fan with a shoe pretty good too. But
I've seen video.
Well, the fan deserved it. That's the thing. The fan's lucky that's all he got beaten with a shoe.
Not stepped in the throat with a skate.
It's like, dude, what were you thinking? Honest to God, these guys are all 7 foot tall wearing skates, and they're carrying sticks like clubs, and they're coming over the glass at you. What are you doing?
New York in the 70s, and there's police around.
Exactly.
The lawless place we're in right now.
Dude, what are you doing? I mean, it's the Wild Wild West, and it's called New York City. But anyway.
New York City!
Get a rope.
Wild Upper West Side.
The Wild Upper West Side.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's 6:54 in the Mountain Time here on Face Off. Joins us.
But anyway, yeah. But honestly, just very quickly on that, it's like I said though, Mike Milbury. But Milbury's whole thing actually makes sense. It's like he's saying he's concerned about guys that are especially a lot of the guys he's seeing now who've retired, who are suffering from still suffering from post-concussion symptoms. And and a lot of them were guys who were tough guys like himself, and he feels that it's time to shut it down. He said, "Is one thing, broken bones, things like that. That's one thing, those kind of injuries, they're part of the game. It's what you have to put up with." But he said, and I was reading the interview that he did on the subsequently. I can't remember who interviewed him, but it was pretty good because he was saying, he said, we all signed up knowing what the physical price was that we could pay. He said a lot of us are limping around, things like that, but we knew that. But what's really scared him was the mental price that these guys are paying. A lot of them who suffered head injuries, who are still suffering from the brain trauma they received for years. He said for himself, he said he got lucky, as he said, yeah, he knows that some of his critics probably doubt that, and he was good-natured about that. But, making a joke about it, but at the same time he was saying, he was one of the lucky ones that he said, I can still put sentences together, I can still have a life, I'm not suffering any pain. He knows guys who are in a lot worse state that than he ever could, and one of the guys he mentioned, Colorado Avalanche former popular enforcer Scott Parker. I guess he's got it so bad, the post-concussion symptoms, he's to the point where he's having difficulty getting out of bed in the morning now. That's how bad it's gotten for him. You remember Scott Parker, Alaskan kid, big boy. He was a key part of an important part of the Avalanche roster during his playing days. I believe he won a Stanley Cup with them in 2001, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure he was on that roster.
Pretty sure he was too, and saw some playoff time. So the fact that this is what he's been reduced to, I mean that's a pretty significant wake-up call. And again, as I said, if Mike Milbury is willing to make that case, if he's willing to say, listen, it's time for us to get fighting out of the game, then maybe it really is time that the NHL starts to reevaluate this whole thing.
I don't think. I think the stage fighting needs to get out. I don't think you eliminate the entire thing.
You'll never be able to completely eliminate it from the game. I mean, let's be clear here.
It's adjusting guys who were in that goon role into another position, another spot. Eliminating just those guys or making them adapt. I mean, John Scott had a snipe last night for the Sharks.
Well, a lot of these guys can play. That's the thing. I mean, they're not all brainless, idiotic goons. I mean, listen, Dan Carcillo, sure, made his name as a wild fighter and things like that early in his career. But the guy can play. I mean, he's got some decent skills. He can play. George Peros was another one, and unfortunately he's out of the game now. His career is done. But Chris Neal, for the Ottawa Senators, this guy, he's as tough as nails. I mean, he won two. I think he's one of the few guys who's ever successfully won a scrap with Zdeno Chara. Tough guy. He'll drop him if you need to, but he plays a regular third line shift.
Ty Domi plays a power play too.
Yeah, Ty Domi during his years with the Maple Leafs. I mean, early in his career, Ty Domi strictly goon, nothing else. But when he came to the Leafs, Pat Burns turned him into a third, fourth line energy guy, and occasionally he saw playing time on the top line. If Pat Burns thought that the opposing team was taking some liberties on the Matt Sundin line, he'd throw Domi out there for some shit, and Domi didn't look out of place. I mean, he actually was a decent player. So most of these guys can play. It's just what their ticket was to the NHL was fighting. Okay, and now all that skill just gets buried because all they're needed for is just to go out and play 5 minutes and chuck knuckles, and that's it. And I think we've talked about this before, we're seeing that shift away from that role. A lot of these guys have become more of an agitator now. Where their role is more to get under the opposing team's skin, but at the same time, you got to be able to contribute on the ice. You've got to be able to contribute whether it's scoring, whether it's checking, penalty killing, whatever it is. You've got to be able to play a regular role.
The Matt Barnaby, Sean Avery role.
Yeah. And 4 or 5 years ago, if that, Matt Hendricks had the reason why he was given a contract with the Washington Capitals was because he could defend the superstars and wound up being the best shootout specialist, quote unquote, on the team.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, you just shift that role and away you go. And here we are now. Shifting from that to for a rumor, and the Tyler Myers rumors have started already. So one weekend, we're already into it again. So congratulations for a third year in a row, I believe. We got ourselves a Tyler Myers. Nice little rumor mill now. Well, with the NHL just giving Buffalo everything, you might as well let them have these rumors too, I guess. One of the key things, Detroit Red Wings, they need a right-handed shot, blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. How much is Buffalo willing to actually part with Tyler Myers? Is he in Ted Nolan's good books? Is he a guy who can turn it all around? What kind of player are they looking at him? Is he going to be one of the key the leaders in this whole 75-year rebuild for the season?
Well, I think that's what they're hoping for with him. I mean, let's face it, he is their best defenseman. And you can say,
not saying much though.
I know you were going there, but let's face it though. If you put Tyler Myers on a much deeper team, okay, put him as a second line role, or pair him with a real top two defenseman, somebody with skill, skill and experience to help this guy. I mean, he can blossom. I mean, let's face it, he's got the skills. He's got the size, got the skills, a perfect package. That's why so many teams are keen to get a hold of this kid. And he's only 24. I mean, if he stays healthy, he's got a long possibility for a long, productive career ahead of him. But I think that the Sabres, I think Tim Murray also understands that as well. Now, that being said, I mean, as he said last year, he will listen to offers for anybody. Anybody. Okay? And I'm sure that even includes his first-round pick for this year, Sam Reinhart. If you're willing to make a massive pitch for him, he'll be more than happy to trade him to you. Okay? And the same thing goes with Tyler Myers. But that being said, I don't think that he's actively shopping him. He's aware of what the Red Wings want, and he told them what the asking price was going to be, and it's quite steep, and it starts with top prospect Anthony Mantha. And the Red Wings, apparently, once they heard that, the talks stopped. It was just, okay, no. Now, they might revisit them and go, okay, look, apart from Mantha, who would you be interested in, blah, blah, blah. But, honestly, I don't see them moving Tyler Myers right now. In fact, I mean, if they're going to do it at all, I think it either happens near the trade deadline, okay, or it happens this summer, either, again, in late June or the first week in July when there are more teams with a lot more cap space and a willingness to trade. And in fact, if Tim Murray's smart, and I'd like to think that he is, he waits until then, because why try and trade this guy during the season when there are very few teams with the cap space and the willingness to pursue him or to give you the kind of offer that you want to part with him? When if you wait until June, we all know the salary cap's going to go up. Okay, it's probably, depending on where the Canadian dollar ends up, it'll probably be between 73 and 75 mil. For 2015-16. It's going to be a lot of teams with a lot more cap space then and a willingness to spend and to trade. So hang on them that's why all these rumors right now, to me, they don't make any sense. They make absolutely no sense at all. Why trade this guy now? It's pointless.
Or there will be a GM trying to save his job with a team that has a chance to make the playoffs. Cough, cough, Philip Forsberg, and GM willing to make a dumb trade for a player that might not totally benefit their team or be the right fit for their team, but is willing to give up way too much to see if it works.
But the only problem with that, though, is when they made that trade for Martin Erat, and you're bringing that up kind of as a comparable, Martin Erat was a more affordable player to take on, okay? Tyler Myers is $5.25 million, okay? Now, yeah, much of his contract was front-loaded and was paid out, and I understand all that part of it, what people are saying, and yes, it will drop steadily over the remaining tenure. I think he's got another 4 years, and I believe it will drop to about 3 to 3.5 mil in the final season. But the cap hit remains 5.25 mil, and that's why I always chuckle whenever I hear guys say, "Oh, but in real salary, he's worth less than that." Yes, but your cap hit is still 5.25 mil, and that's what counts. So plus the Sabres are going to ask for a lot. And again, this is their best defenseman. This isn't like Washington willing to give up a top prospect to get, a second-line winger here, okay? This is their top defenseman and a guy that they're still hopeful will be able to play a key part in their rebuild. So, again, yeah, it's going to take a lot to pry this guy away. And to do that, that's why I'm saying if I'm Tim Murray, if I'm seriously considering entertaining offers, yeah, you listen to him throughout the season, but you don't seriously shop this guy until, as I said, in the off-season, late June, early July, when there are more teams with cap space and a willingness to spend. I mean, why limit yourself to only 2 or 3 teams during the season when that could double or possibly triple? Okay, you could have up to 10 teams in June bidding for this kid, and you could get considerably better offers.
By the way, Teddy Roosevelt bobblehead night in Milwaukee for the Admirals is February 21st.
Again, they're just completely ripping off of DC.
First 5,000 fans on February 21st will get a Teddy Roosevelt bobblehead.
What does Teddy Roosevelt have to do with Milwaukee?
Nothing, I think, actually.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. He was. It looks like he was shot in Milwaukee in front of the Galpatrick Hotel.
Please tell me there isn't like a hole or anything in the bobblehead.
Yeah, that'd be messed up.
That would like a gun wound in the bobblehead.
There's a gun wound in the bobblehead. You have to find it.
I don't understand. Like, what? Why? Why does
Yes.
Milwaukee have
His
a
head doesn't so much bobble as lean to the left.
No,
It's in
that's
honor.
JFK.
I shit you not. It is in honor of the 102nd anniversary of Teddy Roosevelt being shot in Milwaukee.
Oh my
That is
God!
the reason why they're doing it.
Oh, yes, I'm sure that if Teddy Roosevelt were alive today, that would bring such fond memories for him. Well, yes, I very well remember the time I got shot in Milwaukee. One of my fondest memories.
This is
Is he
also-
the big smile? Ah, fondest memories. I speak softly, carry a big stick. See? Yeah.
and the reason why it didn't kill him is because he had his manuscript in glasses case where his heart was going to be targeted at, and that's where he gave a speech, and he said it takes more than a bullet to kill a bull moose, and after speaking for nearly an hour, he was rushed to hospital. So there's that.
Because, like a bull moose, he was a total idiot.
Yeah, a little bit. And
Don't
shout out
you
Milwaukee.
dare say that about Teddy Roosevelt, all right?
Roosevelt's one of our
I'm
Of our-
sorry, if you get shot and your life is in peril, and you're like, no, allow me to proceed with my speech. You're an idiot.
No,
Listen,
he's
It
a
was a much more
goddamn
civil time
man.
than Lyle.
He's more of a man than any of us will be.
Far more civil time. Plus, there weren't nearly as many hospitals.
Well, okay, now that's probably why, though. It's probably like, how long will it take me to get in the hospital? Really? Oh, I might as well just kill the time here while I'm bleeding to death by giving my speech until the ambulance gets here.
Another shout out Sean Leahy for the Rough Riders. So why not? Do we have the cowbell? No cowbell? All right.
No, I can't find it. I'm saddened.
We need more cowbell.
More cowbell. Simone Gagne signing with the Boston Bruins after they've scored 4 goals in 4 games.
Mercy signing.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask, what are you doing with this?
Well, I don't think he's going to help him with their score. I mean, listen, it's great that he was able to play his way back onto an NHL roster. But, okay, I hope he has a decent season and can at least contribute. But, I mean, if you're looking for, even 40-point production out of this guy, you're not going to get it. I mean, he's well past his best before date and has that long history of concussion injuries. So, I wish him the best of luck. I really do. But this, I called it a mercy sign. Really, it's not. I mean, he played his way onto the roster. I mean, let's face it, Claude Julien isn't going to sign guys just to be a nice guy. You got to be able to fit in his roster. So, hey, you played your way on there, good for you. But he's definitely not going to be the answer to their offensive problems. Who would have thought losing Jerome McGinley, was going to be that big a deal? But evidently, it was a very big deal.
It's really interesting. Like, honestly, I don't know if I'm sure this is just a mirage, but still at the same time, it's very interesting to see.
Well, it's also.
I hope it's a mirage.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's also very, very early in the season. I mean, we have to understand.
I'll start next week.
Oh well, shit! Oh no, this is terrible! Oh no, this is terrible! Oh no! Well, I also think too. I mean, losing Johnny Boychuk as well was a bit of a blow. Very popular guy in the room. One of their key players, anchored that second line defense, and that hurt a bit. But I think give him a couple more weeks. Bruins will suck it up. And listen, we've seen this movie before. Okay, I mean, this happened 3 years ago. They got off to a horrible start, and people were losing their bloody minds. And then all of a sudden, after a lousy October, they cranked up the wind machine and, rose to the top of the Eastern Conference. So I'm not too overly concerned. There's still enough talent on that team, and they've still got one of the best goalies in the league as well. So I think the Bruins will be fine. It's just, this is just a bit of an adjustment from losing Jerome McGinley to trading away Johnny Boychuk to guys like Riley Smith and Torrey Krug, who missed most of preseason and training camp. They're still kind of adjusting a bit too. So that's going to take a little bit of time.
How much of a mirage are guys like Brock Nelson, Wade Simpson, and Victor Hedman being at the top of the leaderboard, and Tanner Pearson leading in goal scorers? Rick Nash is up there too.
I just hope Brock Nelson isn't a mirage. I would love Brock Nelson's name to stay there. I want Brock Nelson to become a star. I do. I want him to be an NHL star because Brock Nelson. That's a name you can hang. That's a name we can hang Johnny's hat on. Brock
I
Nelson.
can't wait until Brock Nelson and Petter Cena are trying to fight it out in the goal scoring race at the end of the season.
But well, I mean, listen, Brock Nelson's, for people who don't know who this guy is, I mean, he's actually one of the promising players on the New York Islanders. He plays center or the wing. He got in a fair bit of playing time last season, and he's got good size. And listen, so far so good. I mean, maybe we're seeing this kid blossom into perhaps maybe not a superstar, but perhaps a significant scorer for the New York Islanders.
He'll be a good mid-carder, maybe a
Absolutely,
US title belt.
yeah, exactly. U.S. title belt, yes. Brock Nelson.
and he was a big standout at UND too at North Dakota.
Yeah.
Big, and then finally, he's just coming into his own right now. So,
but he's just got a cool name, Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson, Boone Jenner.
Yeah, Boone Jenner. That's another good one. I like it. Boone Jenner. That's like a baseball name, and that seems like a baseball name. Boone Jenner. Where Brock Nelson, All-American.
Look, Brock Nelson is clearly like a DH or a first baseman that doesn't run.
No. Brock Nelson is he's a U.S. college football star. He's Brock Nelson, All-American. He's a real American, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Come on, how much more American? That'd be Brock Nelson. I mean, like I said,
Boone Jenner is clearly the right fielder who's just really fast that can lay down a good bunt.
Yes. I will give you that.
How about Fulmer? Is he still playing for the? Please tell me he's still. No, he's at Nate now. Former Kootenai Ice standout, Steel Boomer.
That's a hockey name. That's just a hockey name.
That is straight up porn.
No, Steel Boomer.
Steel Boomer is a porn star name.
That's true.
Wow. I was, and that's funny because I was gonna say he was a closer, but they're like sort of the same thing.
Oh,
absolutely the same thing.
Oh, actually, I would have thought like Steel Boomer. I mean, that sounds like one of those wrestlers who wear a mask. The Steel Boomer.
Yes. He'll wear a mask
from the ice of Kootenai, Steel Boomer,
and follow you home after the game.
Exactly.
And
how? Steel Boomer played with Jaeger Dirk on the ice.
Now that's a porn name.
Jaeger
Dirk. Come on.
Yeah, there's no chance. What movie were they in together?
Oh no, yeah. I don't know. Swallow the Yellow Dick's Load. I don't know.
Is this an Asian porn?
I don't know.
Wow.
That's awesome. I've never heard that one.
Oh, God. Full disclosure, I stole that from John Oliver's last week tonight.
Oh, that's so good, though.
But it was just so memorable. It's not often you get a chance to work something like that into a conversation.
No, but obviously, if at any point it would have been this show.
It was definitely this show, and in that particular circumstance.
Just for that.
And I thought Harry Twatter and the Sorcerer.
That's a classic.
I've always liked A League of Her Own.
Well, I'm an old school guy. I was always fond of Romancing the Bone. So, yeah.
My favorite's Cock Teabag. I don't know what that means. It's just one of those
things.
Actually, fun times. So who's the Chris Kontos this year, where they get out to a big start and then just falter off? That should be an award.
It could be Brock Nelson for all we know.
Brock Nelson. I have to say, I'm surprised how well Victor Hedman's doing too.
I'm
Victor
not.
Hedman
No, that's a hockey name because he headmans the puck.
Yeah, the puck.
Go. Saved us there. Got us out of there before he got too smutty. But no, I'm not surprised though that he's off to now. Do I expect him to be a scoring leader?
Too far.
Yes. Do I expect him to be a scoring leader throughout the season? No, but I mean he's been significantly improving each season, and he's starting to look a little less like Benicio del Toro every year as well. Starting to look more like his own guy. Because remember, in Montreal, we were commenting on how much he looked like Benicio del Toro in the Montreal draft. But last season, he really came into his own as a top two defenseman. So I'm not surprised that he's off to a good start this season.
You think being left off the Swedish roster last year was a big motivating factor for him?
Well, it may have been, though. I have to say, honestly, whoever it was who picked that Swedish roster and left him off, you are an idiot. You know, I couldn't believe that last year. That was one of the big surprises of last year's Olympics was that he didn't get picked.
Well, it's funny. Like after the Olympics happened, they caught up with a Swedish GM in March, I think it was. He was en route from Stockholm. He was going to Norway for a scouting mission, and they asked him about the Victor Hedman thing, and his comment was bork bork bork. So it's really odd. That he would use
I
those
saw this happening 30 seconds ago, and I kind of wish I would have left a little thing for everybody to watch down the bottom. That was fantastic.
It's a shame the Swedish national team just picked the usual suspects.
Still trying to work in that Benicio del Toro thing. Yeah,
I like it.
You know,
I like it.
They could have snatched.
Give me the money, motherfucker. What the fuck?
Give me the key. Give me the key,
Give me the key, cocktail. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, really, Victor Hedman is money for nothing for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Am I right?
Mark, how's your groin after that stretch?
Yeah, let's be a little tender now. Yeah.
Maybe it's tales from maybe it's a little the funeral for that joke. Maybe.
Yeah, it would definitely be a tale from the crypt. Hey!
Sin City for trying to make that.
Oh, let it go, man! Let it go!
Was that a Frozen reference?
Points to Mark for that one, definitely. That one. Yeah, Mark wins that one.
Special thanks to IMDb.
There you go. Cheater.
I know.
Well, I'm a fine one to talk as I'm looking up Twitter and other obscure things and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Jonas Brolin re-signing with the Minnesota Wild for 6 years, an extension there. Good on
contract.
that.
Good contract too. This guy's gonna be a blue line stud for years, and that's a very reasonable. $4 million and change, very reasonable for this guy.
Yeah, if you give 13-year contracts to two guys, everything's reasonable.
Yeah,
now.
but in
comparison.
Yeah, well, I know. But honestly, though, I mean, since they blew their minds with that, they've been quite and despite screwing around Darcy Kemper, who, by the way, is
leading
off to a fantastic start.
I demand an apology from you guys for drafting him in my fantasy draft and you making fun of me for it.
I apologize for you drafting your fantasy draft. You're right.
Yeah. I apologize.
I don't
for
even remember being
stuff.
here for that show.
You might not.
No, you missed that one, Johnny. Yeah,
Okay,
you
good.
You were soccer.
Or I was
officiating.
just drunk.
No, you were soccer officiating. Excuse me.
I think you were bemoaning the fact too, Mark. But whatever, these things happen.
Yeah, but other than that, though, I mean, they've made some pretty damn good signings, and they've got a core young talent that is going to keep that team in contention for a while. I mean, between Brolin, Charlie Coyle, Granlund, Eric Halle, if you hear me, they've got a good core talent. Keep an eye on the state of hockey. It's boom times are coming. Boom times are coming for the state of hockey.
I like the food of hockey. That concession stand was amazing.
Yes.
Like, the food of hockey. What is the food of hockey? Corn dogs for $17? What the hell is this bullshit?
Yes.
That's what I said to myself.
I like that little restaurant though that we ate in that was in the hotel we stayed in though. Where we could watch footy as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Where it was, everything was very quaint there at Mini St.
It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it there. Yeah, I gotta say.
Everything's like an old house that got turned into a business, and the owner still lives in the back, kind of situation.
Yeah, but in a good way though, not in a creepy, desperate, sad way, but in a really good.
The other places in Minnesota, are that way. But
I know, but overall.
You're through St. Cloud, Lyle? Holy
very, 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 very Midwestern charming.
What about Mankato? Have you been through Mankato?
Do I want to?
How about the Bemidji State? Mankato, I hardly know him.
Anyway. Just saying to any of our listeners from Minnesota, I love your state.
Big fan of the state.
Big fan.
Mall of America is great. It's got the Legoland. It's fantastic. Which
I
like
just like the bars and the pubs we went to. They were really good.
yeah, no,
They
the-
kicked ass.
It was really like and the setup too, like at the what was it, the Iron Eagle or something that was right across the street from the arena.
Right, yeah.
Couches and stuff. I'm like, this is
Oh,
nice.
That
This
was
is
that was nice. That was a
relaxed, you can go
that
in
was
and
a really good way to chill out after the draft was done. Yeah.
you gotta have guys who have their numbers retired walk in on you in the bathroom. It's a
Yes,
really fun
I'm
spot.
telling you. Yeah.
Like
all good.
honestly, man,
It was
like
very chill place. Very chill.
very amazing.
Very chill. Very
You missed out the week before, Lyle, was Neil Broughton. That was the weird thing. It was Neil Broughton. That was the best part of it in Minnesota.
Nah, much better if Dale Hunter walk in on you.
I don't know, Lyle. Ask
Genuine,
Pierre Turgeon.
a genuine,
Ask Pierre
genuine
Turgeon
star.
about that.
Genuine
Lyle would
star.
know.
Genuine star. Hey, I would know. I was there. Remember, I showed you on the doll. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Many times. It's like, wait a minute. I didn't even ask you, Lyle, and you're just frequently giving this. Anyway.
Look, guys, look where Dale Hunter just touched me.
Yes, Lyle.
Yes, it's the start of my new movie. Yeah, it's the start of my new TV show, Touched by Dale Hunter. Yeah.
No, we
That's
didn't.
actually Lyle's first album.
Followed by
That's the name of my first album, Touched by Dale Hunter.
followed by Seventh Heaven.
Oh,
What? What happened?
Oi,
What?
vey.
Hold on a minute. Where are we?
Oi.
Didn't find out soon enough.
Mm.
That news hasn't gotten to Canada. What happened?
Oh, it has.
It
Yes,
wasn't too soon at all. It was way too late that we found out about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, actually, way too
Far
late.
too late.
Way too late, and very disgusting.
Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, moving away from that.
Any bag of fun we got there, Lyle? Anything?
Well, just briefly, ye old Canadian dollar's going into the crapper, and we all know what that means. Hey, we all know what that means.
The salary cap's going down.
Trouble for Canadian teams. Oh, it won't be going down, but it's gonna be slow going up. We saw its immediate impact for this season. Remember, the salary cap was supposed to go to 71 mil for this season, only went to 69 mil. Why? Because the Canadian dollar dropped from 96 cents down to 92. Bang! It's now at 88 cents. Hasn't been this low in 5 years. The last time it got really, really low was 6 years ago when it hit 77 cents, and the salary cap only rose by $100,000 for 2009-10. So keep that in mind, just kind of keep an eye on that. The lower that dollar goes, and the harder it's going to make for Canadian teams to re-sign key players, because, of course, they get paid, they get their revenues in Canadian dollars, but they got to pay the players in American bucks. So if that Canadian dollar keeps dropping by any significant amount, and you're a fan of a Canadian team and you pay to go watch the games, be prepared to pay more, because they got to offset the difference somehow, and they'll pass that on to you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your economics lessons for today, kids. Meanwhile, if you're an fan of American team, you're going, what? Doesn't bother us.
Maybe the NHL does need those Viagra commercials, because they can't keep that salary cap up.
Especially.
Yeah. Well, they still can, because of lucrative television deals that they didn't have 8 years ago. That helps. And the Winter Classics, they help. But when over 35% of your revenue is coming from 7 teams in a country where their dollar is dropping, you're going to be felt. As I said, the salary cap, I was expecting that, if the Canadian dollar managed to get up to about 95 cents, stay that way over the course of this season, then the salary cap could jump to 75 mil. Now, it'll still go up, but I'm thinking now 73 maybe.
And I have to say that anybody wants to send me American money right now, that'd be great, and then I'd make a nice profit off that.
I'll tell you this though, it's working out well for me, because most of my revenue as a freelance writer comes from the States. So 7.88 cent Canadian dollar, it's Christmas in heaven.
Exactly. It's just like
Yes.
this is
Lyle's
good
saving
stuff.
up his money so he can come to Buffalo in 2016.
Oh hell yeah!
My God.
Well, like I say, can't
Buffalo.
afford to go to Florida, but I
Why
got
would you want Lyle? Listen. They're probably going to move afterwards.
Well, yeah, exactly. Oh my God, yeah,
Fine.
you guys. Oh, well, listen. Greg Wyshynski made some really good points about the Panthers situation, and I understand why the Panthers, have said, okay, look, we're not going to give away tickets or discounted tickets anymore, blah 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 blah. But still, in the grand scheme of this. And yes, honest to God, this is a team that's suffering because they've been poorly managed for a decade and a half now. But honest to God, this is a team in a very bad state right now, very bad shape. And Broward County, which is where their arena, the BB&T, Bed Bath and Tangos, the BB&T Center, which is where your 2015 NHL draft is scheduled to be. Enjoy,
They're
guys.
trying to help break the lease for the team.
Yeah, they've hired a consultant to look into the cost of allowing the Panthers breaking the Panthers lease to see how feasible it is if they could still manage to make some money from it, from rock concerts and things like that, and special events. And if they can, they'll break the lease with the Panthers, and then you get into all the tangles of legalese and everything else. If that lease gets broken, guess what? This is a team that's going to be moving.
Love, peace, and hair grease. Do you think that's the reason why the attendance numbers are getting out and they're not papering the crowd anymore? Is that they almost want the new ownership almost wants to force the hand to make them break the lease?
Listen, I'm not about to speculate about that, but
the rumors guy is not speculating. Come on.
Yeah, but as I said, it's all part of their thing. They're trying to rebuild everything, And again, it makes perfect sense that you can't be giving away tickets or discounted tickets and at the same time expecting your season ticket holders to pay, big bucks for it. It just doesn't make sense. So I think it just has more to do with economics in that sense. I don't think, I don't think it's they're, trying to find some way to move the team. They're actually trying to find a way to. What they want is they want tax relief from the county. They want to be able to get out of paying a big mountain of taxes, something like $78 million, I believe it is, over 15 years. They want that written off. So that's why we're seeing all this tango going on with Broward County. But as I said, you've got to figure that Seattle's got to be in the picture here. You got to think Quebec City could be in the picture as emergency landing spots for the team like the Panthers if they can't make a go of it, because we saw how quickly things went down with the Thrashers. And it came really at the end of the day, it came out of the blue. People knew there was problems with the ownership. Was arguing amongst each other. I'm talking the Atlanta Thrashers now, their ownership situation. The Atlanta Spirit, as it was called. Yeah, the Spirit was, I hate your friggin' guts and I want to kill you. That was amongst the owners. That was their Atlanta Spirit. But when that finally fell apart, it did so very, very quickly, and we saw that relocation to Winnipeg happen in a matter of months, very, very fast. So if Broward County decides, okay, that's it, we're breaking the lease with the Panthers, we don't want them, they're gone. They can launch lawsuits, litigation, all you want. At the end of the day, this will be a team without a home, okay? Which means they're going to have to move them quickly. And again, Seattle could be in the fix. Quebec City could be in the fix. So keep an eye on the Panthers. For a decision supposedly will come down about their lease in May. From this consultant.
That's really more than enough time.
So yeah,
driving behind Mayflower trucks in order to get to the draft.
Oh my God! Wouldn't it be something if it was just like what was that? The Colts.
Oh God!
Yeah, that Baltimore Colts situation. Oh, I know it's the bad. Yeah, I know it happened 30 years ago, but it's never too you guys. Well, you're suffering tonight. You notice I haven't said anything about that. Yeah.
It's been a bad day for Baltimore sports.
Because they got to the World Series, Kansas City's going to get the team. So there's that.
There you go. Wow, that would be a hell of a... Well, listen, it's a good point to bring up as well. Kansas City's got an NHL venue. It's not something you can totally rule out. But the two cities that are pushing the hardest right now is Seattle and Quebec City. So,
Do either of them have an NHL-ready building? That's
listen. Quebec City will.
Colisée?
They can put the Panthers into the Colisée for one season, perhaps two, until that NHL venue is ready. I believe it's going to be ready in 2016. Is when they said it. So yeah, you're only talking a year. With Seattle now, an interesting thing with that is apparently it was there was a report last week out of the Seattle Times that said in the summer of 2013, the Coyotes were very close to moving to Seattle if the Glendale City Council vote had gone against keeping the team. had gone against, that deal that had been constructed for that ownership group that's in there. So, and listen, the Coyotes aren't out of the woods yet either. They still have, even though they brought in a new majority owner who owns 51%, Andrew Barroway, that agreement that they have with Glendale for the arena, remember, they can bail on it by 2018 if they feel they're not, haven't turned around, if they're not going to be able to make any money, if it's just not going to be profitable for them, they can bail. And if they do, that's going to be it. I do not see the NHL being able to do anything more to keep the Coyotes in Arizona. And believe me, I'm not stumping for this team to be moved. But, like I said, Gary Bettman, by sheer force of will, has kept that team there. But if that lease gets broken, if that current ownership says, we're out, we're done, we're out of here, and we want to move the team, what's Bettman going to do? By that point, I think even the Board of Governors by that point will be against him. They'll turn around and go, look, we fought a good fight here, but we can't keep throwing bad money after good in this instance here. So send him to Seattle. By that point, hopefully maybe by 2018, there will be a venue in Seattle. And if there is, it's going to be a destination for either an expansion team or a floundering one to be relocated. It's going to happen.
Should be a fun time ahead in the summer of
Can I ask
relocation.
a stupid question real quick before?
Stupid question, JP. Yes, sir.
So, I understand the whole Quebec City thing, but we just got done talking about how the Canadian dollar is now falling farther down.
I know.
How does a team from Florida decide that? How are there people that could
justify?
I don't want to say like have enough money to, but how does the NHL allow a team to move from Florida to Canada when there's a possibility that it's an 88-cent on a dollar exchange?
Because with that 88-cent dollar exchange on the dollar, regardless, you're going to have full houses every night of fans who have been without NHL hockey for 20 years who are willing to pay through the damn nose to watch it.
And that'll also bring in more revenue, I'm sure, with local
Absolutely.
TV deals and national TV deals and stuff.
Yep. Even with a lower Canadian dollar, you throw them into Quebec City. Even with a lower Canadian dollar, even the dollar's at 85 cents or even at 80 cents. Okay, there's still going to be a large segment of that population are going to be more than happy to pay whatever the new Nordiques want to come and watch their games. There'll be full houses every night. And as you said, that will help offset any differences, any decline or any slowdown in league revenue and in the salary cap. You throw that team up to Quebec City next year, for example. Oh yeah, that's a significant boost.
And even if it is still 88 cents on the dollar, that's I'm pretty sure a lot of Canadian teams and businesses knew that this dollar for dollar wasn't going to last. But as long as it doesn't dip into the 60s. Then,
well, yeah. I mean, listen, 85 cents I think really is still kind of the sweet spot. Once you start getting down closer to 80 cents, I think that's when, for a sustained period, I mean longer than a few months, which is what we saw in late 2008, early 2009, when it went down to 77 cents. Thankfully, it didn't stay there for long. If it stayed there for like 2 years, there would have been some problems. But 85 cents even, if it stays in the 80-cent range, they'll be fine with it. Okay, they were in the 80-cent range. They were 85 cents in 2005-06. Okay, 85 up to 80 to 85 cents. So they'll be fine with that. It's when you get down to where it was in Canadian peso value of 65 cents, 70 cents. That's when it's a real burden for these Canadian franchises, especially the small market ones.
Just gotta find more oil. Find more
oil.
Go from there.
Is there any oil under here? Yeah.
Or potash.
Potash. That's potash.
Whatever. Listen, I don't want your hippie stuff in here. I don't need this bong resin, Lyle. Thanks, Lyle. It's been great. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll do this again next week.
Good seeing you, Lyle.
Hey, good seeing you again too, Johnny Pitt. Love the chapeau.
Yes. That means hat.
Oh, I thought he meant head and shoulders. Okay, whatever. Shit. Like, all right. Well, it's not shampoo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love the sombrero.
Excellent. Oh, God, I can't get it.
Hey! Good,
Lyle.
you came with me on that, except for Scotty.
Yeah, I was there. There for a bit.
Yeah, you were for a bit. Anyway.
Life. All right, Lyle. Take care, bud. We'll see you next week.
Catch you next week, guys.
There you go.
See ya.
SpectresHockey.net, HockeyNews.com, ButcherReport.com, and the PEI Guardian Island Prince. So we get to our shout-outs. Johnny P, we start with you.
Yeah, I am going to shout out to my guitar. That actually might be another song.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, Shout Out to My Guitar is a great song.
Yeah.
Writing it down. Second album.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that until after it came out of my mouth. I have a shout out to the Orioles. Good season. It was fun. I liked cheering and rooting in playoff baseball. It's good stuff. Yeah, and I have a shout out to the Capitals too. I mean, I guess really trying to figure out how far the San Jose Sharks can choke a game away by giving them a 3-0 head start, I believe it was, only to come back and lose in the shootout. So maybe next time, Caps, just keep it 2.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Brittany too for her Chicago Marathonness.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Mr. P?
I'm out.
All right, with the other Mr. P, Mark with a C.
I'll give a shout out to the Orioles. There's the children's ripcord bracelet that I've been wearing.
You pulled it?
Yeah. After I jumped out of the plane, I decided it was too soon.
It's so terrible.
Shout out to the Ravens. Yay. Yep.
All Baltimore everything.
There's the Baltimore one that I used to use.
Oh, nice. Switching team, not a kid.
And shout out to America. What's up? America. Yeah.
Yes, users don't look directly into the YouTubes.
It's not all I got. Shout out to Brittany for a fantastic run in Chicago. Great times in Chicago. Great deep dish pizza. And we are running in the Baltimore Running Festival this weekend as well. So I will see you in Baltimore.
That doesn't sound like a festive thing at all. But I'm a fat guy who doesn't like running. So that's probably me.
It is a festival of lights, let me tell you.
See, I would like that. I would like the Jewish thing more. All right. Yeah, shout out to the Mr. Mike's Casual Steakhouse in Airdrie. And those fun people out there, man. That was a good time Friday night. Do it again this Friday night. Yeah, shout out to Brittany. That was very cool. It's something that I obviously would not be able to do because I run 2 feet. I'm just like, oh, this is bullshit. Shout out to Johnny P being back, but a diss to his PCL. That's never good. It's never a fun thing.
Yep.
Don't
protest.
Shout out to, yeah, exactly. Freaking go ahead and chips. We thought we were gonna have chips. Shout out to the Demos. Demos for a good season, even though they couldn't score in the ALCS there, hon. Shout out Baltimore Blast for some reason. I don't know why. And shout out to the ECHL finally making up their mind and taking over the CHL. Good work, team. Way to go, guys. That's it. That's all. For another week, for Johnny P. Mark with a C, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. It's been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. It's also our Tumblr. On the Twitters at FaceOffHCKY Show and on the Facebook FOHS Radio. And yeah, till next week, another fun-filled episode. Peace.
Yeah.
All right. Press it. Press it. Press it. Press the button. Press